Whoa.
You ready? I'm nervous. I'm getting a little emotional here because I can see imaginary deck over there and drinking coffee on a cool fall morning. It's really hard for me to believe how far we've came. I was looking through some old videos and this seems alien to me. This is where we first started building the pad. It's unbelievable how far we've came. You can't get any better than that. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Gosh, this is it. We keep saying this is it, but this is really it. We have our stakes for the laying out the foundation of our cabin. We're going to put our bat boards up, put our stakes, get a square, and we are literally going to start putting posts in the ground. It has taken Tanya and I probably not a lot of hours, but 2 or 3 weeks to get this pad built because there was trees here, had to be cut away. We had to dispose of the trees and cut the logs up, move them away. So a lot of stuff took place to happen to this point. So if you haven't seen those videos, if you're interested in from like ground zero to the complete cabin build, make sure that you go back and watch this playlist because it'll be from start to finish eventually. So listen, we are going to, again, we're going to put in our bat boards and then we're going to pull strings and get a perfectly square 16 by 44 foundation, and then we're going to start putting posts in the ground. We have 60 6x6 posts that we're going to put in the ground using Fast 2K. Hey, we'd like to thank HB Fuller and the Fast 2K team for sponsoring this video. They have been an awesome partner, and we have grown to really trust Fast 2K in our building projects. We built a greenhouse, pole barn, fences, solar arrays. I've lost count. Actually, we call ourselves the Fast 2K farm. All of our stuff has been through high winds, and we have had 0 issues and 0 failures with Fast 2K. Thank you, Fast 2K, for sponsoring this video.
I'm standing in the
hallway.
No, I'm standing in the starting of the kitchen and living space right now.
No. It's going to be further this way.
Okay. I'm standing in the bathroom right now.
Pretty close.
And I'm standing
in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
So this is where you want it. You want it this far over?
Yeah, but the sun doesn't come directly in the bedroom.
Well, that's a good point. As long as that tree's there. Still gonna come in the winter though. All right, so tell me where you want your corner, and I'll tell you if it's too far because I don't want to get on any of the soil that's about as far as you can go.
Yeah.
This is actually gonna be pretty much perfect. Hey, we gotta line it up this way to the way to face. No, you gotta go.
No, I want to aim this way.
Well, you aim towards the sun. That's we're aiming due east. It ain't nothing about where everything else is at. It's just where the sun. I mean, if you want a slight.
I want like a little tilt to it.
So when you come down the drive, you'll actually see the front of it?
Yep.
We can do that.
Right there.
All right, we get the paint and make our 44 marks. All right, so this is going to be a corner. That's where the corner of the post is going to be. So the cabin will be like this, give or take. That stinky? That's just a reference line.
Whoa.
All right. Well, that's going to be a booger bear to get up now. Why'd you put it in so far? Ugh.
What did you pull back up?
This is the wrong place. What was it we always say?
I don't know.
First day?
Yep. We just go as we flow.
First time, right? First time we were doing this.
Yep.
Well, I think the first time we were doing it, but definitely. So to see, you got to be wide enough that the strings come across, right? Mm-hmm. And there's enough room for the strings to come across so we can square it up. Okay. My goodness. Throwing. Does it help? I pointed it towards it. Just trying to get an idea where them. It's 2 or 3 inches out right there. I want to take this to be, raise it up to the top of that. I want to have to move that other one, I think. Now aim it towards the thing so you know.
Well, I can't touch because you got that thing.
It's just kind of close. It ain't got to be perfect.
I really can make it out from over here.
And turn it. So I'll raise this up over here. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Oh, yeah.
That's one. 4 more or 3 more to go.
Yep. All right, you good with the boards? I'll move the camera, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Teamwork.
That bird just told you that was a whole bunch of baloney. That was a beautiful tree. You got spoiled.
All right, good morning. We are back out again. We had to stop. We've been out here, we've not been here in several days. We had a flash flood. We got this far, it puckered up on us, and we had to cut loose. And off we went. And let me tell you what happened. You can see our ground is really level. I mean, everything was within an inch or two, but I got a nice little puddle right here. So I'm gonna pull in some more dirt over here today before we put the rest of this. I don't want water to be standing under the cabin, and right now this is a natural place for water stand. We just didn't have time to, the site is not done, so we've not got all the relief ditches put in place and the water drainage features put in place, and it come like it rained like 6 inches in a day. It was unreal. So let me show you some of the things it did. You can see that it's over here, it's drained down. It's just part of building, I guess. I can get mad, but it's just part of building. And you look around here, and we had a ditch dug, and it done a really good job. And over here will be a culvert that comes down. So if you look right here, there's going to be a culvert that comes down. But we didn't have the culvert in yet, so the water come here and then run across and make this huge washout of our pad that we built. There's dirt that's all flowed out that way. So we'll have to come back in and fix this and then get the culvert put in so the water doesn't come and cut around. That's one of the big future projects. But today we're trying to get the foundation put in. So we're going to take the 2515 with the land plane on the back of it, come along here, and we'll come along here and I want to add like an inch or so of dirt right here, and I think that'll solve our issues. It's still a tad muddy right here, but this is, you can see the clay, it dries up and curls up. A lot of deer traffic. Let's get to it. I'm gonna swap out for the bucket on the forks, and the land plane is not really good for cutting as much as it is for leveling. It's really good for leveling, and I don't have rippers on this, so get the bucket and we can do a little bit more. So the weather's just not wanting to work with us. It's not bad yet. I think it's just going to be sprinkles today, but we've had horrific rains, and then We had to brake for the rains because it made everything so muddy down here that it just wasn't feasible to work. Now it's dried out again, and the first day we come back down here, it shows a 2% chance of rain, and it's raining. What do you do? It's just an ideal. So what we need to do is set our first post. Get the perfect 16, I need it exactly 44 feet long. Exactly, on the outside of post to outside.
So we need to put one right here.
No, I gave her extra. This is where it generally starts, is right in here. So we want to look at it like, this is going to be the first post, right? Mm-hmm. But now I'm going to take my level, just barely touching the string, and make sure it's level. So that'll give me center of the post. So I'm going to come over. So that's center. We're going to come over the width of the level. Okay, I'm excited.
Me too.
Are you really?
Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel now.
Light at the end of the tunnel. So we're building our cabin. If you don't know, we're going to put some pictures up real quick and let you see what we're kind of, our dream. And we're working with Fast 2K. We've built a lot of things with Fast 2K. We're ambassadors for Fast 2K, that's for sure. We're big believers, really is what it is. And then we also are going to build our cabin using SIP panels by Eco Panels of Tennessee. So it's taken a while to get all the moving parts put together, but I think you're going to see this thing go up really quick now.
Yeah.
First off,
it's like it took forever to get where we're at now. Now it's going to go like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, it's like this week we're doing this, next week we're doing that. So today we're putting in our first post. This post right here.
Right there.
It's a first pier. So the cabin's going to be off the ground about 4 feet, and it's a pier system. It's going to have a big giant deck out in front of it. I can't wait to get done so I can show you guys. Just stay with us. We're going to be doing a series along the way, and then at the end we'll do a start to finish video for you guys. This is going to be a 4 or 5 month process before we actually probably get to the finished inside, but I think the walls are going to go up really fast.
Yeah.
This is going to go really fast today. Anyway, less jabbering, and we're going to go start digging some holes.
Gizmo's very wore out.
Yeah, Gizmo done wore out. Bless his hard head chicken. He done brought chicken down here.
Yeah, he's funny.
Let me tell you kind of our situation. We're way back in the woods. You can't get an automobile back here. We can't get a truck back here. It's just too far. So everything's going to be brought on the tractor. So somehow we've got 3 tractors back here. We've used the front bucket here to carry all this Fast 2K. This is enough Fast 2K to do the front row, and that's probably going to get us done today. And then you're using the T25 with the front mounted auger. I was very, very impressed with how the front mounted auger worked on the T25. I could see so good. I can't put the extension on it because it's just not high enough, but I can pull the dirt out once it gets to about right here, carry it over, dump it over the side of the hill, and then come back and dig the hole to right here. This is 4 feet. And this is smaller diameter than the hole is, so it'll just go right in, and I'll pick it back up and then go dump that dirt, and I'll have a perfect 4 foot hole. And we just got to repeat that 12 times in a row in a straight line. What could go wrong? All right, so the next thing, and this is the method behind our madness, is that we have to bring everything down here from the other side of the property. We're on the very back side of our property. It's a long way. Like I said, there's no way to get automobiles back here. So we're using the 474 as our heavy lifter. The 474 will lift something like, I don't know, 2,200 pounds, something. It lifts more than it says it'll lift, I'll tell you that for a fact. So we're using this for our heavy lifter to bring the post back. And we have 4 rungs of these posts. And each time we bring them back, it's tedious, because even with a 1,000-pound implement on the back and loaded rear tires, it still feels a little light in the rear end. And we're going up and down hills, so I got to be very, very slow. So I think that's enough talking, and we're ready to start poking holes in the ground. Gizmo, you ready to poke holes in the ground? Yeah, the T25 has just continually impressed me. All right, so we're gonna be using the Ironcraft front mounted auger. This thing it's rated at 5 gallons per minute minimum. The T25 is below that, but because when I'm using the auger, I'm not using the power steering any, so it has like a 7.6 gallon per minute pump. And if you're not using the power steering much, then you're getting a lot higher flow rate. It worked perfectly. I was very, very impressed with it. We are partnered with Ironcraft. They're a local Tennessee company, and they make a full line of implements. And I'm sure over the next year, you're gonna see a lot of their implements on our channel. They make really good stuff, and I'm proud to partner with them. Let's get the hole punched. Get a hole punched. All right, I gotta move my string. So I just gotta put it directly on that cross. I know that's being way over crazy. I'm gonna go really slow with these. I know a professional person could come in here and does this every day. They could probably rip these holes out in a second, but we're amateurs, and we're gonna make sure that the hole is going, or the drill is going in, the auger is going in straight in. What I did last time was I went ahead and put the unit in float. And once I put it in float, then I tilted my head so that it was at the pivot point and straight up and down. Plumb is the actual word. I say level a lot because some people don't know what plumb means. All right, does that look good? Here we go. Even that low idle, it's still digging in. You a ballerina? I know, but you're a ballerina. That's what you look like you're doing. Is that what you are? She says she's an auger. Nobody can hear her. They just know you're out here doing crazy stuff. You ready? I'm nervous. I don't want to mess it up. I got 2 thumbs up from her. This was about half throttle. Good? I'm a little crooked on my angle. All right, I'm still in float. It's just pulling itself in the hole. We forgot a shovel. We're gonna have to put the auger back in or go get the postal diggers and flush out the bottom because it's a little bit fell back in. We need the shovel and the... I've made Tanya go move the camera. I told her everybody wants to look in the hole. It's a rule. Everybody does. You dig a hole, everybody goes, stands around, looks down into it. I'm sure glad these are so wet and heavy. I mean, they had to order them. We needed 60 of them. We got 64, so we just got 4 bundles.
So you're gonna make a support thing now.
The better we get this, the better the whole thing's gonna go. So if we get this perfectly square. All right, let's talk you through what we're gonna do. This is Fast 2K in the, this is the pail kits. And the pail kits comes in 2 cubic feet and 3 cubic feet. And then we have the bag left over. Like if we think this is 2 cubic feet, we think it's gonna be really close to filling it all the way to the top. And it may not be necessary, but we got it here if we need it. So what we're going to do is mix this part A into part B. We're going to pour it in the hole. When you pour it in the hole, you want to pour it around the post. You don't want to pour it just on one side, because as it expands, it actually is pushing. So if you have more on one side than the other, it can actually kind of push the post out of plumb. Our post is perfectly plumb. I'm going to be checking it. It moves really fast. 5 minutes, it's pretty stable in 5 minutes, and you can pour the next another batch on top of it. Now, it's not necessary to put the Fast 2K all the way to the top. It's actually costs more to put it all the way to the top. However, I don't have a great amount of faith in ground contact post anymore. And what I found, if I take Fast 2K and run all the way to the top, it bonds to the wood and waterproofs it. And I mean, if you look at our post now, there is no dampness, or it's Fast 2Ks even with the ground. So I think it's going to make these posts last a long time. This is a cabin. This is going to be lived in for years, and it's going to be around for years. So I'm going to spend a little extra money here, and I think that's okay. So I'm going to be using the bag of Fast 2K to top this off, because again, like, I want it all the way to the top, and I'm willing to absorb that cost. I think if you're going to build a cabin or something like this, you should be willing to. Still way cheaper than a traditional foundation, and you can bring it back in the woods without concrete. But I do recommend wearing the little gloves to get it on your skin. It takes like some mineral spirits to get off, and sometimes it will actually, like, some of your skin will come off with it. So I'm not saying I know this for personal experience, but I'm just saying don't get it on your skin unless you have to. It's not poisonous, but it definitely bonds to skin as well as it bonds to everything else. There's a method that if you're strong enough to do it like this, you can make sure that it's sloshing completely from one end to the other. You can do it like this. I find this to be easier, but if you are maybe not able to do that, you can also do what's called a shoe shine method, which is just rub it back and forth across a board, and that makes sure that the mix is mixed well. Again, this one's done 30 seconds, just like the main one, or the big pail kit. We've waited 5 minutes between the pours. It's got a little perforated tear, which makes it a lot easier to tear. And what I'm doing is going around and coating the post at the top. I don't want any ground contact. All you'll need for cleanup is just a bag. Only 58 more posts to lift. That's a really clean hole at the bottom. It's pretty close by itself. Would you look at that right there? 44 and maybe a 30/2 of an inch. That's pretty daggone good. I'm happy with that right there. 44 and maybe a 30/2. More like a 64th, for really. I mean, it's for reals. So what we're going to use here in this hole, we have the new pail kits. This is a 2 cubic feet, and they have a 3 cubic feet. The only difference between it is same packaging, I believe. One has a little bit more Fast 2K in it than the other one. And then I think, based upon the last post, this is going to be really close to filling this one up. And then one of the bags, you can get all of these on Amazon. I think you can get the pail kits also on, like, it's some of your local, the bags and the pail kits at some of your local retailers. I don't know, we got this come through Amazon. Now, this is the extent of how hard this is. I got my watch on just to mess with the, to keep up with the time. Once you pour the activator in the other part, you got 30 seconds. I got Fast 2K on it. The better you mix it, the stronger the Fast 2K is going to be. So use your full 30 seconds to mix it. Again, we want to pour around the post. We don't want to pour in one location, because if you pour just on one side, it could theoretically move the post as it's curing. And it has for me from time to time. So it's just something I learned to do. I'm also pouring around the post to coat the post with Fast 2K. and that makes the post even more waterproof. There's two reasons I'm using this level. First off, it's more accurate than a post level because it's got a longer span. Second off, I can't find my post level, so take your choice of which one it is. So that one's spot on perfect. And what I'm gonna do is make sure that at any place that I miss with the Fast 2K on the post, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I get it on that, because I really want that post to have some covering on it. It really is what it is depending on where you put the level. I put the level on this side and this side. And what this is telling me is the post is not very square. Because it's level, put on this side and this side, it's level. You put on this side and this side, it's not. So, I mean, we're going to be out 1/16 of an inch. I think that'll be acceptable. I want to be as close as I can. All right, I'm going to answer a couple of questions that I know we're going to get because we've gotten them on previous build projects. First off, why do we use Fast 2K and not concrete? Well, there's a couple of reasons. And this is, in my opinion, and my personal experiences and experiences of other people that I know. Treated wood is not what it used to be. It used to have creosote and formaldehyde in the wood. And you could take one of these posts like this and you could pretty much count on it lasting for a lifetime. Nowadays they don't, because the EPA has found that creosote and formaldehyde leaks down in the ground and contaminates the ground. So they've taken it out, and you can't get those kind of posts anymore except under certain circumstances. The average consumer, we're going to get posts like this. Now this uses an antimicrobial, wow, it's a big word for me, and it's better than no treatment, but in my experience, after about 5 or 6 years, if you put in 60 posts, after 5 or 6 years, you're going to have 2 or 3 posts that are going to fail. And this is a cabin. This is a house. We're going to actually live in this cabin for a while. It can't fail. Well, Fast 2K does 2 things. It's, first off, in my experience, it's stronger than concrete. You take concrete, put it in a post in a hole, and take a chain with your loader on the tractor, pull up, concrete will come right out of the ground. You take the same post, put Fast 2K in the ground, my biggest tractor won't pull the post out of the ground. Matter of fact, we've done a demonstration once before where the chain was actually cutting the post in 2. So it's stronger. And a lot of people will come back and say, well, it's going to fail, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Well, the utility companies have been using Fast 2K to put utility posts up for almost 30 years now. There's posts out there holding electric lines up for 30 years. So it's pretty well proven. And the people who are really generally the naysayers have never tried it, or they heard it from a friend of a friend that done it. They really have no first-hand experience. We have used Fast 2K on numerous projects. We built a greenhouse, we built a pole barn, we built our fences, we built a sawmill shed, we built a lot of things using Fast 2K, and it has never failed. Our pole barn has been through 2 60-mile-an-hour wind storms over the time that it's been up. It's been about 3 years now. And it's been through 2 60-mile-an-hour winds. And if that wasn't bad enough, we had an 80-mile-an-hour wind this spring. And a lot of our neighbors lost buildings, and our pole barn is still here. So I don't have any reservations about strength. Again, the other big thing is concrete is it doesn't benefit you as far as keeping rot away. It actually wicks water towards the post, and that encourages rot. So you'll see people that'll put posts in the ground and put concrete around it, and they rot off right by where the concrete touches the post, and that's because it's a little bit acidic, and it wicks water towards the wood, so it keeps it constantly wet. So that's another reason that I think that Fast 2K is superior. Here is the biggest reason. We are in the back of our property in the woods. There's no way to get an automobile here. There's no way to get a concrete truck here. We would have to bring in water, and we would have to bring in tons of concrete with our tractors, and we would have to lift all that concrete. Now, I like concrete for certain products, or certain things. Don't think I'm knocking concrete, because concrete has its purpose. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think Tanya and I could do this job if we had to lug, thousands of pounds of concrete back here, where I can take this jug and pour it in the hole, and it's about three or 4 pounds, and it holds better than concrete, and it waterproofs the post. So those are some of my reasons. Listen, leave a comment if you think I missed something, or if you have a question. I try to answer any questions I can about Fast 2K. It's not for every job, but if it's to do with a post in the ground, it's almost every time in my experience, it's superior to concrete. Okay, good morning. We're back out here again, and today we're going to go ahead and put some straps down the bottom, probably just right above that string. We'll use that string as our guide, and we're going to do this because these are treated posts and they're wet. I mean, they are really wet. They just literally come off the truck, and they're out here in the sun, and they'll have a tendency to want to move as they dry. So what we're going to do is go ahead and run a strap down the side so that each one of them will kind of tie into the other one, and hopefully that will alleviate some of the movement. Now, these will be temporary, so we're only going to put a couple screws in each post, and that should help us to keep the movement from happening. I don't know if I think Tanya, you showed, yeah, look, there is nothing easy about building a cabin in the wood. The trail that comes in here, first off, there's, if I wanted paint left on my truck, I could maybe make it through here, but it would end up with dents and stuff in the side of my truck. So I'm obviously not going to pull my truck down through here. And that was 16 feet wide, pretty much perfectly level or even on each end. And then I, going through the trees and bumping them, and by the time I got here, it's a big giant globbery mess. Globbery? That's a good word. I'm making that up. Globbery.
All I heard was banging around. It's like, what are you doing?
Listen, that was horrific. There's just no great way to get back here. We have got a start of a drive it's going to be plenty enough for a small SUV or even a truck to get back here eventually, but we've still got to cut some trees out of the way and make it wider, and sometimes it's like a switchback. You just can't get to it. Anyway, that's just some of the hardships that we deal with, and it's just part of it. But
they're obstacles.
Opportunities is what they are. The reality is what we want is we don't want a straight road back here. We want it. We want to keep the cabin feel. We don't want it to be, feel like it's part of the community. We want to be way away from the community, and we are way back at the back of our property, and you can't hear cars and you can't hear things, and I like it. I love it. It's the way we want to keep it.
I don't know what you do with it.
All we're going to do is put it right above that string. above the string. Well, it's on camera, so I know I can prove you were wrong. All right, we can come around here and look at my level.
You got it?
Yeah. I can't see the level though.
Perfect.
Fence?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fence was forever. So here's our big plan. Because of the way our pad is built, we don't have access to all, we only have access to one side. So we had to kind of think this out. On this end, we're going to put a post in on this corner. This will be our first post on this side. And then we're going to go ahead and put a post on that side so we can pretty much solidify, big word for me, solidify our square. So those posts will be there and we'll know that they are, you know, they're going to make this thing, it's not going to move around. After we do that, then we'll come down this side and put our posts spaced out perfectly in line with these posts on this other side. And then what that'll allow us to do will be pull a string acrossways and then make our measurements and put our posts in the middle, and just we'll do a layer at a time, layer at a time, layer at a time until we get to the other end. Because there, again, we have to work our way back out that way because there's a pretty good sized cliff over pretty much around the whole entire perimeter of this pad. It's, you know, like 8 foot, 9 foot drop off. I think we're ready to drill some holes. Move along, doggy. We set up our strings so that we can take them down really easily. So I misjudged that hole and where the auger goes. This is, again, we're learning how to do this, and probably some people would use a 16-inch auger bit, but we're trying to use a 12 to keep our cost down on the Fast 2K. Perfect. Okay guys, we are wrapping up tonight. We got these 12 posts down this side with a strap, finished up a few little things on that side. We got the strings laid out, it's square. I mean, this is really square. But keep in mind that posts are wood, so they may be perfectly square at the base, but as they dry, they're gonna move a little bit, but that's to be expected with all lumber. There is no such thing as a square house built out of lumber. But we got down through to this point right here, and we got one hole off, so we got to take this out and just shave this side with the hand postal diggers. Those are horrible, horrible torture things. So we get that one done, and then I've got one more right here that is off center. It's not really off center, but I'm still learning the new auger, and instead of going straight down, I went at an angle. Didn't realize I was doing it. So that's the first time that's ever happened. So I got to pull this one back out tomorrow. It's already 8 o'clock at night, and we've been working since about 6 this morning. We had a break in the middle of the day where we did other things and then come back out here and work tonight. I'm wore out, sweaty, nasty, smell like a goat. Tanya's behind the camera, just looking like a princess. All right, guys, we'll see you in the morning. All right, we're back out here the next morning, and Gizmo's here providing security again, and let me tell you what's going on. It is, actual temperature today will be 100 degrees with heat index of like 120 here. The humidity is brutal. So we got here early this morning, or as early as we could. We got to tend to our chores at home and then get over here as quick as we can. So what I'm gonna do today is start pulling these couple of posts out that are off-centered. We didn't get the holes dug right. And I'm gonna get the post hole diggers out and go at it, try to get this last line of poles in. And then on this end, we're gonna start doing our poles crossways. There'll be 3 poles, 3 poles, 3 poles. We'll just come down through here doing 3 poles at a time. That way we can work our way out. I think that's going to be the best solution. Let me see if I can get this post out. So that post hole digger, you know, we're still new at it and we're learning. So I actually kind of dug the hole in crooked like this, and nothing I can't fix with this. But and this soil it's sandy. It's a sandy clay mixture, and it's damp down here. As long as it's damp, it's very manageable to dig. But once it dries out, oh my gosh, it's like concrete. My least favorite utensil, digging utensil. Tanya and I have been out here working. We get out here in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock, and work till lunchtime, 1 o'clock, before we just can't bear the heat anymore. Go take a break in our travel trailer at the front of the property, and then come back out about 3:30 or 4 if the weather permits. You know, we've kind of got a taste of, you know, our forefathers were tough. They're some tough people. I mean, there's just no doubt. They did it every day and they didn't even know that it was bad. We have air conditioner now, and we know how uncomfortable it is, but you know, you just have to work, take breaks, and be smart about it. Otherwise you're overheating. And they knew this stuff, but I'll have to say that I've not done anything like this since the Army. So these posts come directly off the truck. They are green with that fluid, and I mean they are wet and heavy. I mean horribly heavy. All right, good morning again. This is I guess I don't even know what day it is. It's all kind of blended together. When you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to do it. And right now it's about 5:30. We've been here since 5. And the camera really doesn't do it justice. It's dark outside right now still. We're just now getting enough light we can start to see to work. And the heat during the day is an actual 100 degrees temperature with the humidity's unreal. So we've had like heat indexes of 112, you know, even higher than that. So, but if you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to get it done. So that's what we're doing. We're out here early in the morning working, and we work late in the evenings. So we got a gift today, and it is a post leveler, and you put it on the post, something like this, straps around the rubber band, and it makes it a lot easier to level your post. And it's from Chad Nicholas. It says, "Gotta get you using a post level with that fast 2K," and a little smiley face from Chad Nicholas. So thank you, Chad. We really appreciate this. You'll see it out throughout this build. We've got to build all of these, the rest of these posts, and then a whole deck in front of this. So this is going to be very helpful. It is a Swanson. It's a very nice quality one. Thank you. Nice. Very nice. So once you learn to do that, it literally, there's nothing that much different between it and concrete. The fact that concrete, you know, you don't have to worry about it pushing. You set it plumb and you leave it. This one you have to kind of keep an eye on it. But the fact is concrete you gotta leave for 24 hours. This you have to leave for 30 minutes and you start working on it. That's how simple it is. And then, like I said, 30 minutes later you can start, I could put boards across this if we were. This is really helpful if you got a big crew where you could come in and just like put a whole bunch of posts in the ground really, really fast. And then that morning you can get all your posts in the ground. That afternoon you can start actually building a deck or something. So this is a lot of work. Tanya and I have been here in the mornings and in the evenings for the last couple of weeks preparing this site and then starting to put these posts in the ground. And while we were doing this right here, we had extreme heat. We had 100 degree actual temperatures with heat indexes way up into the 120s. And it was brutal. So we would work at 4 o'clock. We'd get here at 5 o'clock in the morning, get up at 4, get here at 5, from light till as far as we could take it. Some days we could only take it till about 10 o'clock. And then we would leave, take a break, and come back and start again. But it's made it all worth it because right here, this is the last 3 posts. And next week, we're gonna go see about our cabin. It's being set up in the factory. They're building it right now, and they're gonna set it all up in the factory to put all the panels together, and we're gonna go see that. I'm excited to see that. I'm getting a little emotional here because this is for real. You know, we're making it and we're earning it because Tanya and I are doing this ourselves. I'm sure a crew could have come in here and done this in probably a day. It's taken us almost a week to do it by ourselves because we could only work in the mornings and the afternoons for a short amount of time because of the heat. I'm excited and all tore up at the same time. Feels like a win. It's a lot of work, but it makes it worth it. 2 things we couldn't have done without is the tractors. The tractors have been a game changer for us, being able to be work multipliers. And then the Fast 2K, there's no way we could have hauled concrete back here. There's no way for a concrete truck to get back here. It's too far for a pump truck. You'd have to mix it by hand and bring the water in. Everything, it's just more than me and Tanya could do. We've grown to trust Fast 2K so much that, you know, we're willing to, we believe all the specs and the building, you know, it passes building codes, and we believe it because we've had our buildings go through horrific storms. So, and as you can see in clear Tony fashion, we overbuilt this. And Gizmo approves it all. Now these are just about to graze these have to graze the string or it'll look off out here.
You mean graze them, you have to touch them in?
Just barely touch the hair of the string. Okay. All right, that's perfect. I never would have thought I would be emotional on the finishing this up. I mean, we put a lot. I mean, it was hard though. That 100-degree weather. One of our safety officers over there is asleep on the job. We've got this down to a system. Once we get it poured, she gets the very last little bit of it out, and I start watching the level. I hold each one of these. It only takes about 2 or 3 minutes. It sets up good enough you can let go. If we really wanted to do better, we could take and put 4 of the braces on here at one time and get it all set up exactly right. But we found that this is fast.
It works for us.
It works for us. Yeah, just put 2 on there, and then whenever we go to let it set up, we just hold it. Again, if you had a crew of 6 or 8 people, you could, come in here and do this in a day.
We got a imaginary crew.
Yeah.
It's just us 2 and Gizmo.
Well, we did it.
Yeah.
This didn't imaginarily happen.
Knock on wood, we're not done yet.
No, we got a lot more to do, but I can see it now. I can see sitting on that deck over there, that imaginary deck over there, and drinking coffee on a cool fall morning. You know what? I can sit here and hold this, but it ain't gonna happen until we put some Fast 2K in there.
We did it again, didn't we?
Tired. Sitting there holding that thing, waiting for that Fast 2K to set up, and ain't even putting none in the hole yet. We're tired, ain't no doubt about it. Coat that wood. So we've got our piers put in and we're excited about that. The next thing we're gonna do is get our laser level set up, and that'll be another on the next video where we come in and cut all these off, and then we're going to put in our joists going back and forth to hold the cabin floor up, and that'll be on the next video. Appreciate you guys watching this, and if you got any insight, see anything we did wrong, we're going to be building some more stuff in the future, so anything we can learn from you guys, I appreciate it. God bless.
That's a wrap for this video. See y'all next time.